The first eye is going to be on Titan. It's going to be in the room adjacent to Sloan. As you enter the room, it'll be on your left. Afterwards, head over to the platform on the top right, and the eye will be in the back alley up in the sky. Drop down to your right and head over to the sinking docks. Once you hit the loading zone and walk through the doorway, the third eye will be above you to the right. Afterwards, teleport back to Siren's Watch and drop down to your left and head into the Lost Sector. After you clear the ads to your liking, the fourth eye will be above you in the center of the room in between some pipes. Now fast travel to the rig, and the next eye will be in the public event room above the right plate for the Witch's Ritual. Follow my path from this room and head into the Lost Sector. The next eye is pretty easy to spot, and you can't really miss it as long as you're heading towards the end of the Lost Sector. Teleport back out to the rig. Now you're going to want to head over towards the other Lost Sector in the area where Greg lives. Before going into the Lost Sector, look outside to either your left or right depending on which way you drop down, and through the doorway you'll see another eye. Afterwards, head into the Lost Sector. The next eye is going to be above you and to the right. As you enter the room, jump up and turn around and you should see it. Teleport back out to the rig and you're going to want to head over towards the solarium. Once you reach this big open room, you're going to want to head over like you're doing the Savathun strike. Keep going until you reach the room where you have to get the orb and dunk on the first Shrieker. Instead of going into that room, turn to your left and look up, and the next eye should be up on a little ledge. Now it's time to backtrack all the way to the big open room in the solarium. Once you're there, you're going to want to head to the other pathway across from you. Keep going until you reach the festering halls, and jump out and turn around and look up, and the last eye of Titan should be above you. Head over to Mercury, look to your right and go through the teleporter to Brother Vance. The first eye is a little bit to the side of the top left corner of the window. Head back outside, hop on your Sparrow and go to the right. The next eye is going to be inside of a tree. After you get that one, resummon your Sparrow and head over towards the portal. And the next eye is going to be above the Minotaur statue. Resummon your Sparrow and keep heading towards the left. Completing the full lap, the next eye should be in the broken sphere structure. The next two eyes on Mercury are going to be in the zones of the public event that are on each side of the map. You can either wait for the public event, Sparrowfly, or Swordfly over towards these areas. If you're heading towards this tower, the eye should be in the top left corner. And if you're heading towards this tower, the eye is going to be on top right above the circle door. Now it's time to head over towards the only lost sector in the area. As you enter the lost sector, the first eye is in the top left center. Shoot in between the Vex-like structure. Proceed to the lost sector, and after you enter the big circle doorway, the next eye is going to be down to your bottom right. Enter the boss room, and the first eye will be above the entrance doorway, and if you look to the left of that one, you'll find the last eye of Mercury. Teleport over to Io, and the first eye is going to be right above Asher Mirror. Look to your right as you spawn in. Next, head over to the lost sector closest to you, to your left. Once you enter the lost sector, follow the path I show here. Once on top of the middle platform in the big open room, turn around and look to your left, and the eye should be there. Teleport back out to the rupture. Hop on your spare and head towards the lost sector in the back left corner. Do not go into this lost sector yet, there is an eye just outside. Turn around and look back towards the underpass, and the eye should be above in the top left corner. Now it is time to head into the lost sector. Run past all the ads, turn around and look up. The eye in the lost sector should be right above the Hydra you walk past. Teleport to the lost oasis and jump up on the platform to the right of the spawn. Look to your right and you should see the first eye in this area. Summon your sparrow and head over towards the Cabal Drill public event area. Walk to the edge and look down into the center of the big tree, and you should see the second eye in this area. Now it's time to head over towards the terror base. Summon your sparrow and head towards the left path in the Lost Oasis. Follow this path until you reach terror base. As you enter the zone, you should see the eye, but in case you don't, it's down in the little divot in the center of this area. Next, jump up to your top left, go past the Taken Blight, and head into the Cabal base. The moment you enter the cave, look to your right and the eye should be there. Next, teleport to Giant Scar. Hop on your sparrow and drive over towards the drill, and the next eye should be on one of the arms of the drill. The arm of the drill you're looking for is right next to Rasputin's tower, as you can see in the skybox. Next, hop on your sparrow and enter the Cabal base in the top right of this area. Proceed through the base until you reach the second big room. Turn around and look at the door you entered through, and the eye should be right above it. Teleport to the Glacial Drift on Mars. Pretend like you're driving up to Futurescape, and you should see the first eye above the big doorway. Next, hop on your sparrow and head over towards the left side of this area. Unfortunately, I get error coded here, but basically you're trying to go into the elevator room. The next eye is in the top section of this room, in the top left corner. Next, you're going to want to summon your sparrow and head over towards Olympus Descent. You're heading towards the area where the Mars campaign initially starts. The next eye should be to the top right of the initial spawn location. Teleport back to the Glacial Drift and head to the right and go into the Lost Sector in this area. Proceed through the Lost Sector until you reach the chest. Look to your top left and you should see the eye through the crack where the light shines through. Next, teleport to Futurescape and head over towards Anna. The next eye should be right above Anna to the right. Hop on your Sparrow and take the left pathway from Anna's room. Once you hit the load zone for Aura's Reach, look over the railing to your left and you should see an eye. Proceed all the way to the end of the mine lab. The last eye should be to the left side of Rasputin's entrance. Teleport back to the Futurescape and head towards the Lost Sector in this area. The eye in this Lost Sector is above in the room right before the boss. Teleport back to Futurescape. Summon your Sparrow and head to the left. The next eye is going to be in the top right, right before the facility meets the mountains. Continue going to the left and pretend that you're going through the Zol Strike. Proceed until you reach the room where you throw the Valkyrie into the core. Once you enter this room, the eye should be your top left alongside one of the beams. Load up the Whisper mission. The first eye is pretty obvious and it should be right in front of you as you enter the jumping puzzle. Proceed through the jumping puzzle until you reach the point where you have to get past the Blight Pushers. The moment you enter this room, look to your left and you should see the eye. Go past the Blight Pushers and enter the green room. The next eye is going to be right in the bottom mid, and you should see it from the entrance. Head through the secret passage to your bottom right. The next eye is going to be on your left as you enter this room. You should see it. Proceed to the big open room. Jump out to your right and you should be able to snipe the last eye. Load up the Prophecy Dungeon and proceed through the first encounter as normal. After you open up the first doorway in this encounter, the eye is going to be to your top left in the first tunnel closest to the doorway. Proceed through the dungeon until you reach the Wastelands. Hop on your Sparrow and head towards the right until you reach the part of this area that kind of looks like the entrance to the Pyramidion. The next eye should be behind the structure. Proceed through the dungeon until you beat the cube room. Before leaving this room, the eye is going to be in one of the top corners. Next, proceed through the dungeon until you reach the Riven room. Proceed through this encounter normally or Sparrow fly down to the bottom, but do not go up the lift. Instead, head towards the secret chest. The fourth eye should be below in the gap that you jump over to head over towards the chest. Proceed through the dungeon until you reach a damaged phase, but do not kill the boss. The final eye in the dungeon is only accessible in one of the room variations. Keep repeating damage phases until you get this room and look to your top right and you should see the final eye.